there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to remember that I've forgot over the last couple of years, like the number of people who died in Lori's world. Let me just start with a couple of things. You know that she's going to be tried first. Then Chad will be tried, and it's likely it's going to be 2024 because he got severed and they haven't set the date yet. The triple murder is the two kids, Tylee and JJ, and also Tammy Daybell. That's Chad's long-suffering and, late wife who didn't die in her sleep, like he said. They exhumed her, and, it was murder. So there's this curiously high number of people who are dead, and they're all connected to Lori in some way. Some to Chad, but mostly to Lori. And and by the way, most of them died or began dying or were murdered right around the time she connected with Chad. So there's a little nexus there that's a bit creepy. And the short list is this: 2 former husbands, her brother, her teenage daughter, her 7-year-old adopted son, her 5th husband's wife, and 2 of her own sisters. Yes, I said 2 of her own sisters. You may not know that unless you've been following this as long as the case, is. But yes, there is a big, big, long list of people. And the sisters, aren't even fully on that. Just one of them is. Okay, let me start with the sisters, though. In 1998, Stacy Lynn Cox Cope, up there, center, middle, top. She was Lori's oldest sister, and she died suddenly, undetermined causes, 31 years old. Weird. In retrospect, now even weirder, given Lori has so many dead loved ones, There was another sister as well in the Cox family, Lori's sister, Laura Lee. She died in 1971 at just 6 weeks old. I suspect there's nothing to be suspicious about there, but there is that little tidbit that a lot of people don't know about. And then let's go to 2018, Joseph Ryan. Joseph Ryan was Lori's 3rd husband. Apparent heart attack was the cause of his death at age 59. So far, there's nothing to indicate otherwise. But again, the sniffer gets going. July 2019, so just a year later, husband number 4 dies. That's Charles Vallow. He was shot dead by Lori's brother, Alex. He was 62 years old when that happened. He had filed for divorce in the February prior to the July murder. He said he was afraid for his safety. He was afraid for the safety of his kids. At the first the police said this was self-defense because Alex Cox said Charles Vallow came at me. Lori backed that up, and then they looked a little deeper, and now she's actually charged with the conspiracy in Charles Vallow's death. So no, it wasn't self-defense. Then in September of 2019, this is just a couple of months after Charles Vallow is shot dead, Tylee is last seen alive at age 16, almost 17. JJ is last seen alive a few weeks later. The picture in Yellowstone has, it's the last picture we have of Tylee, and those are the 2 of them together snuggling. And then the last picture we have of JJ, he was, seen in his jammies, and the last person to see him, they saw JJ in Alex's arms, looked to be asleep. Now they're not so sure, but those 2 kids were discovered dead, their bodies dug up on June 2020. Tammy Daybell, October 2019, just, a month after the last sighting of Tylee and JJ. Tammy Daybell is asleep in her bed and doesn't wake up. She's dead. They say natural causes. And then, oh no, on further investigation, not at all. She was exhumed, and at 49 years old, now it's determined it was murder. And then weirdly, 2 months later, Alex Cox, December of 2019, he dies, Lori's brother. They say natural causes at 51. He's been called the hitman, given that he, killed Charles, and he's been connected to so many other killings and attempted killings. Then there's this, Brandon Boudreau. He didn't die, but he was shot at, and Alex Cox is suspected of shooting at him. He's Lori's niece's ex-husband. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you know what? I'm going to do a whole other segment on it because there's even more strange things that happened. Other shootings. Tammy was shot at before she actually died in her sleep. So there's a lot more to it. But it's too many people, and, natural causes, gunshot wounds, burned, buried, narrowly escaped death, all unbroken links to Lori Daybell. I think we're going to learn a lot at trial. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.